Hi everyone, welcome to our video series for beauty tips during and after cancer treatment. The last video we went over tips for skin cleansing. Now today's video we'll be going over tips for foundation, concealer, and blush application. Now without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to cosmetologist and owner of A Beautiful Face Permanently, Ramona Gamache.
Hi ladies, Ramona Gamache here again today from A Beautiful Face Permanently. And on behalf of the Pink Ribbon Place, this is part 2 in a series of 4 or 5 that we're going to show you on how to take care of your skin and shortcuts to makeup application and alternatives while you're in treatment. So now we're going to go over using concealer, foundation, and powder, and blush. So here's my concealer. Remember, we're not going to cross-contaminate. We want to avoid contaminating our products at all costs, and all times. So I'm going to take my little applicator here. Now, if your concealer comes in a pot, you can use your Q-tip. I'm going to use my Q-tip right now anyway. Now, you may experience dark circles like what I have, and my eyes are very deep set, so it's real dark through here. And I'm going to bring that out a little bit, and some unwanted marks on my face. I have very sensitive skin, so I break out. I'm over 40. Actually 50. And so I'm having to combat and work with age spots. I call them maturing spots. So I'm going to go put in some with my Q-tip in there. That's probably a little too much right there. And hit all these places. And areas, oh, there's another one. I'm trying to lighten that up. Now you don't want to do anything or go and see anybody about removing these because it's far too much while you're in treatment. Keep in mind, you have a newborn skin, so you're not going to go get microdermabrasion and use exfoliants or any alpha hydroxys or retinols on your skin at this time. So you never want to double dip. That's really important. So I have enough on the back of my hand here I'm using as a palette. You know, I did forget one thing. You always want to wash your hands before you begin. Oh, where's my eraser? Here we go. Now remember, concealer's used only what you want to mask. Don't try and put it all over your face and try to create an even canvas. It doesn't work that way. I especially have trouble on this side right there with this little bag, and if I'm retaining more fluid, the puffier my eye gets, and then it, there. creates a pocket in there. And there's a little breakout. Okay, and the age spot, so it's okay. Get around it. Okay, so that's an application of concealer. I'm going to wipe off the unnecessary, and this is how you gauge how much you can use or to use. When you first get and work with these products, you may find that you have way too much. It only requires just a little bit, but when you first start working with this in these methods, they're good tools and good lessons, and you'll learn to save a lot of money by just being very careful. Now, this is my foundation. It's very small. So now I'm going to apply just like I would the rest of the products. You can always go back and get more. I already have my vision, so now I'm going to apply it. I'm always going to do this method in applying my makeup as well as all my foundations and powders. Now, foundation may come in a cream to powder form or dual. So you may have a compact like this and it's foundation to powder. That's great. Remember, if you don't have enough for coverage, you can always go back. Oh, another word, before we get to blush, if you have experiencing any redness in your skin, a little acne, rosacea in that, you want to avoid blush. It'll just magnify the situation. And that's that. Next, we're going to use our powder. Powder seals in your makeup. So I'm going to use a cotton ball. And here's a little trick I learned from one of my trainers, is to take your cotton ball and kind of fan it out like this for a more airbrush effect. Softens it. So remember, we're not going to dip it in there, double dip rather. And then you want to be very careful how you do this. You don't want too much either. Now, this is what you want to do in a powder form. Now, if you're using a blush that's cream to powder, you want to put your cream to powder on first, because trying to put a cream over powder doesn't always work. And I think that also depends upon the product itself. So, you know, you're going to experiment to see what works best in your application, depending upon the manufacturer you use. So next is the blush. Now, in your application of blush, I have seen many makeup artists that say, look for the apples of your cheeks. That's not always a good idea. Most women's apples of the cheeks are right here. Now, we're going to end up looking like a marionette if I put my blush right here. So I am going to use this tool here. I am going to go to the center of my eye and the opening of my ear here, and I'm going to stay in this parameter with my blush. Okay? Just like that. This makes it easy for you. There are going to be some times where your hand is going to be a little shaky. You're not and you're going to feel a little weak. So this is in hopes that this will aid in these tools. So you can either use your sponge or a cotton ball. Today I'm going to use a cotton ball. This is powerful blush. And remember, no double dipping. So you can also take this and just put it over your trash can and tap it a bit to get any excess. So then, here's the center of my eye and the opening of my cheek. So I want to stay up in this area. I have a small face, small structure, so I am going to be careful where I put it. I can always blend it in. There. And I too, more often, will start in the hairline and dab in like this, inward, so that I don't get my makeup and foundation and powder into my hairline. Okay, and then I can soften it by turning it around, blending it in a little bit. Now, you know, a trick to using blush too, you can take your bronzer or your blush too, and if you have a broad forehead up here, just take a little bit, put it here and here, and that narrows it down, okay? And that will conclude this portion of the makeup application.
Thank you, Ramona, and thank you to all for tuning in today. Leave us a comment down below to let us know which tips have been helpful to you. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages at The Pink Room Place, and stay tuned for the rest of the videos in this series. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye.